What's that expression about if you're going through the day and everyone you meet's an a-hole, you're gonna have to stop and look in the mirror and consider, I wonder if I'm the problem. It's the same with this chick who does this interview with Variety. And the problem with people giving interviews now is nobody asks any questions. It's just it's the softest of softball interviews to the point where it's kind of embarrassing for the person being interviewed who really needs someone to kind of rein them in and talk to them a little bit more honestly. Not that that would go public, but to people are so far in an echo chamber now that they have no idea the things they're saying sound as far out as they do. They just sound like they're coming from a whack job who's stuck in this far left wing, so the San Francisco South Park echo chamber type of thing. So this Marvel's director blames the people of the light, people look like you and I, for a film that she thinks, I suspect, is going to bomb. I don't think she's right about that, though, unfortunately. But it is the Marvels, the new Brie Larson movie. It is a lower budget movie. They go, yeah, it's like over $100 million, and you think, wait a minute, superhero movies are usually over $200 million. So, I don't know what Captain Marvel was. The first one was probably a little under 200. Went on to go over $1 billion because it was before the biggest movie in history, between the two biggest movies in history. This one, I suspect, has got its ambitions set a little bit lower. So if you want me to go see it, review it, you can subscribe Star or Cashapp, and I will go see it that day. I suspect the theater for this is going to be pretty empty. And oddly enough, I was looking up the tickets for see what was playing today. And the theater is having discount days where the tickets are $7.50 instead of the, I don't know what they cost at least twice that. And I thought that was kind of weird. And I wonder if that's a bad sign. They're trying to get people in the theater. Then I looked up some of the films, like Oppenheimer. I looked up. I wasn't going to see it. I was just kind of curious about it. Now maybe I'll see it. But that was all the seats were available. I wondered about that. So even for $7.50, I looked at all the films that are playing today. And that was the only one that looked at all palatable, was a 3-hour Oppenheimer, which is a pretty long chunk of a film. So anyway, I would honestly rather see something like The Marvels with Brie Larson than Blue Beetle or Barbie. Those are kind of or Indiana Jones. I actually did watch Indiana Jones. That was just horrible. I mean, that was embarrassing. Just anything associated with Indiana Jones was embarrassing. The thing is, I think The Marvels is going to be less of a lecture on how much they hate, blonde people. Where Blue Beetle was something about Mexicans and Trump and tacos and just like every stereotypical post-2020 BLM riot cliche or post-2016 Trump derangement syndrome cliche that you could possibly get. So this director, who sounds like almost a total idiot. She does say a couple of things that are somewhat redeeming, which is there's a little bit of balance to her. But she did say two interesting things. Is one expected, her hatred of blonde men, of course. But the other unexpected, she is wisely distancing herself from the movie because she thinks it's going to lose money. And in her interview with Vanity, she says it carefully, like she's just a cog in the machinery, and it's the I don't know, the producer over her head, Gunn, or one of those guys at Disney or Marvel. It's one of those people. It's like this movie has to hit certain plot point elements because it's within the Marvel universe. And it was an interesting way to phrase it. Like she's just a hired gun. She's not responsible for when she thinks the movie is going to bomb. But the thing is, for all the people who think this movie is going to bomb, like a Birds of Prey or X-Woman or the Terminator or Ghostbusters or one of those famously crap Birds of Prey, or what was Charlie's Angels? Birds of Prey and Charlie's Angels. Wow. Those movies, Birds of Prey at least, could have been fun. It's like it was very close to. You had the tall, skinny chick who could have been like she had some funny lines. You could have had so much fun with the movie, but you just had to have. Oh, we're gonna have like just chicks and feminism and chicks and more feminism and just vagina dripping estrogen. It's like no, you just have somebody who's got a sense of humor. The thing is, they don't, because it's kind of filmed by committee and it's all just these woke a-holes. So Brie Larson has a fan base that Margot Robbie, I was going to say doesn't have, but after Barbie, she might have picked up. Like, you better be making. She goes, oh, we're not going to make a sequel to Barbie. I'm like, yeah, $1.3 billion. You're probably going to want to rethink that. Well, we're looking at scripts. Because it's how do you not make a sequel to a $1 billion+ movie? The thing is, Margot Robbie Doesn't have the same fan base that Brie Larson has. And why she has a fan base, I don't know. I mean, she was in that King Kong movie. She was okay in it. It would be cool to see her in a lighter movie where she plays more of a human character, but there won't actually be any funny movies from mainstream Hollywood ever again. And I'm totally serious when I say that. That part of Hollywood is over forever. And if you think like I'm just talking crazy talk, look at the movies that have come out in the past few years and how woke Hollywood is and how woke the politics and the culture are right now, and the this Marxist takeover of America. Tell me how you think Hollywood would turn it around. And if a company did want to come out there and say, you know what, screw it, we're gonna make some politically incorrect movies from the '80s. We'll throw a grenade and we'll poke fun at everybody, but that includes everybody, all the sacred cows. We're just gonna go for it. Okay, great. It would make money if you could distribute it. Which one of the half dozen huge companies or the other dozen smaller companies would distribute that film? Keep in mind, it's a minimum $100 million movie. You've got to get it paid for. You got to get it out either to the theaters or at least on streaming services and get it paid for. Like, who would take? You have to work with the distributor to get that thing out there. And I look at all the Hollywood companies now, from Amazon, Netflix to Disney, Warner Brothers. They're all just insanely woker than each other. It does, like, if Apple bought Disney, it wouldn't make a difference. Apple's the same type of people as Disney. So anyway, she's got all these she does this interview and she's got all these stupid talking points. It's just like a checklist they go through, which by now people kind of just tune out because it's so cliche. Let me guess, you're a strong, proud, pox-walk sun woman. You're marginalized and oppressed by the people who are literally paying you millions of dollars. Yeah, make that make sense. She says, essentially, the thing is, she does herself have good taste in movies, so it's kind of why I'm looking at her, and she's a little bit more balanced than a lot of other SJWs. So she says essentially that she knows she is loud, abrasive, and obnoxious and horrible to work with. But when she was on the other sets, the crew was like super inappropriate with their istophobic comments in Hollywood in relatively current year. She's saying that, except she doesn't say what they allegedly said about her. We just kind of have to take her word for it. Except we don't believe her because we've had our eyes open the past 5 years. But the implication is that, like, well, who was being offensive to you? Was it the other black folk on set? The Mexicans, Asians, Jewish? Was it who exactly was this? What group of Hugo Boss is on set in Hollywood in current year and being like this far right cliche, saying the most inappropriate comments? Yeah, that just. If you know anything about Hollywood or like movies, like that doesn't seem likely. That doesn't. Were you filming this in the South in 1850 or something? Like these people say this stuff, and then you start to think it through, and you think, wait a minute, you're some black chick, and you're kind of insinuating that people you're working with, or people who are working under you, were being istophobic to you in Hollywood. Yeah, because Hollywood is known for hiring far right-wing 4chan crew members who are known for insulting their bosses in this current era of political correctness. Yeah, that's just stupid. Once you look at that comment, you go, that didn't happen. So you're lying. You might be sociopathic, or you might just be saying this because you need to say something in an interview. The whole interview is her bragging about the awards she was given and her great movies. Which at least one of them, what's that movie about the serial, the Virginia Madsen movie, which came out in 1992? Oh shit, what's it called? Candyman. So they remade that like 30 years later, and it I don't think it quite made money. I think it got close, but I don't think it quite crossed over into being profitable. So the thing is, all the awards are and the thing is that people like that. People like that original 92 Candyman movie, and I guess they made it with a little bit more social commentary. Yeah, I don't think I can bring myself to go watch a movie made by a woke pox-walks woman with social commentary. That's a bridge too far. The thing is, the awards are meaningless if you're not a blue-eyed European male, because they're the only people that you can legally discriminate against. When Euro people succeed, they had to be so much better than everyone else because there's no affirmative action for the blonde-haired, blue-eyed gang. If you're a Pox Walks woman, you didn't earn any award you got from Hollywood, and maybe deep down she knows this. And yeah, is that PC to say? No, but it's true because I mean that's the whole concept of you see these awards and are just given to these people. What do you mean these people? And they're like they fail upwards. Who's that girl who made Charlie's Angels? God, that for Elizabeth Banks, I think. Yeah, you say you're making bombs and you just go on to make other. Well, to be fair, did she do Barbie? She went on and did Barbie. It's like I guess she redeemed herself with that, or maybe that was Margot Robbie. Anyway, all look alike. When you're at the top of the Frankfurt School privilege ladder, you're so deep in an echo chamber that nothing is real. You can't trust a single thing that people around you are telling you. So this chick was in the Disney Plus movie or streaming show. I'm looking down at the screen to see what her name is because I don't even know her name. Iman Vellani is not a draw, and like very few people know her name, and probably even fewer people saw the Disney Plus show. So she's not putting butts in seats. Brie Larson is the only draw for that movie, and she's I mean, like I said, she got a fan base. She's a big draw. So the only thing that matters is not the people who are constantly blowing smoke up your twat. It's the sales of the tickets. That's the final metric. If you're a Pox woman, your movies can bomb repeatedly, and you'll eventually you will be fired, or at least the phone will stop ringing for you, but the whole time they'll be singing your praises about how great The Woman King was and how great Charlie's Angels was and how great all these other stupid chick flicks are. So it lost $30 million? Well, yes, it did. Yes, that's right. But The Woman King was a stunning and brave portrayal of a marginalized and disenfranchised. We centered our core competence in just all whatever the corporate stupid Hollywood speak is. Go, yeah, but you made a movie about a lie. Like the reality, the history was actually the opposite. The French and the English were the ones who were going to war to stop these the Dahomey tribe from taking human cargo. Yes, that is true. But it's a fictional movie, but it's based on real historical events. Well, yes, but F Whitey. That's pretty much what it boils down to. So the thing is, it's all these kind of awards she gets are just absolutely meaningless. There's nothing real in Hollywood. But I will say, like, if you're a blonde-haired, blue-eyed director, you're getting more real feedback because people know that it's safe to give you feedback because you can't go to social media or do an interview with Variety magazine and complain about how marginalized and oppressed you are. Like, people can say anything they want to you. The worst you might be able to fire them or not work with them again, but you can't destroy a blonde, blue-eyed person on social media because they're at the bottom of the privilege ladder. Like a chick who looks like this has almost all the privilege in the world. Maybe that other Abrahamic religion is on top of them, and now trans is definitely at the peak for now. But those kind of things come and go. So I don't know. I guess the trans thing will probably be the next thing to try to kind of break into movies. I mean, they're in movies now, but I mean, like in a bigger role, in a bigger way. It's like, yeah, Disney, take that next step. Anyway, the thing is, like the best thing for these people would be if they have honest people around them, and we'll see. Post-production proved to be the most challenging. Okay, so what she did is in this interview, she sets it up, and she says it's a Kevin Feige production. It's his movie. She sets it up like she's just a cog in the machine. So she says, I think you have to live in the reality of it's not her movie, it's not her baby. You go in the knowledge that you're just kind of a piece of the machinery of the movie because it has to fit in with Marvel and DC and all those other people. Because she thinks the movie is going to bomb. It's not going to bomb. It's still going to make money. I guarantee it's going to make. If it needs to make, say, $500 million to go from red ink to black ink, definitely no problem. Maybe even like it'll probably do like $100-200 million profitability just because of Brie Larson. Like she has this fan base. I have no idea why, but it's not going to bomb. And I don't think she understands like Brie Larson has a fan base where she's the one who made the movie. She's looking at the movie and goes, yeah, this movie sucks. It totally sucks. And someone in the comments says something like it should have been what was that Batwoman? The Batgirl movie. It goes, yeah, this movie probably should have been pulled like Warner Brother, but the band skips, cute, yeah. That like how bad was Batgirl? Oh, they need to Batgirl this film. Yeah, see, this isn't going to lose money. This is not going to flop into theaters. People are totally underestimating Brie Larson, and then plus you've got a little bit of an energy left from Barbie and the girl power vibe going on. So I don't know. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys all next episode.